You do not need support to build wealth. You need proof. Support is what weak men wait for when they have not built enough evidence to make the world pay attention. Gardner is known for being homeless while training as a stockbroker, then later founding Gardner Rich & Company. His story matters because he was not building proof under applause. He was building proof under pressure. The world did not stop to comfort him. The market did not care that his life was difficult. What mattered was whether he could show up, learn the game, make the calls, understand the field, and become useful in a world that had no obligation to notice him. Daymond John began FUBU from his mother's house, making and selling hats before the brand expanded into a major apparel business. He did not begin with perfect capital. He did not begin with a powerful boardroom behind him. He began with fabric, street demand, small moves, and direct proof. The proof was not in what he imagined. The proof was in what people were willing to buy. That is the law most broke men avoid. No money is not your real problem. No proof is. No network is not your real problem. No family belief is not your real problem. Your real problem is that some hidden part of you still thinks someone must recognize your potential before you start moving like a man with power. That belief is poison. The world does not pay for your pain. It does not pay for your dreams. It does not pay for the man you think you could become. The world pays for solved problems, visible proof, and leverage. So if you start with zero, understand this clearly. Your first currency is not cash. Your first currency is discipline under pressure. But here is the part most men never understand. Wealth does not begin when money appears. Wealth begins when a man stops needing permission. There is a hidden sequence behind every man who rises from nothing. Isolation becomes discipline. Discipline becomes skill. Skill becomes proof. Proof becomes leverage. Leverage becomes money. Money becomes freedom. Most men never reach the money stage because they waste years begging for belief from people who have no power to give them freedom. They explain their ambition to family members who do not understand risk. They confess their dreams to friends who have already surrendered to comfort. They seek validation from people who are emotionally invested in keeping them familiar. So the real question is not, how do I build wealth with $0? The real question is, how does a man turn zero support into a weapon? Because if you do not understand this, you will waste your life waiting for the wrong currency. You will wait for support when you should be building skill. You will wait for belief when you should be building proof. You will wait for motivation when you should be building systems. You will wait for permission while the market is only asking one question. Can you solve a problem worth paying for? If the answer is no, your ambition is invisible. If the answer is yes, your past starts losing power over your future. This is where the stakes become brutal. A man with no money can still be dangerous. But a man with no proof is treated like a theory, and theories are ignored. That is the real humiliation of starting from zero. Not poverty. Dismissibility. The room does not fear your potential. The room fears evidence. The room does not respect what you say you will become. It respects what you can repeatedly produce. Machiavelli understood this cold reality when he wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." In the world of power, perception becomes a form of reality. If people see no evidence, they feel safe dismissing you. If people see visible proof, they begin adjusting their behavior around you. That is why your first mission is not to look rich. Your first mission is to become expensive to dismiss. Law 1. Stop asking trapped people for free man advice. Most men who start with nothing make one deadly mistake. They ask trapped people for free man advice. They ask family members who chose safety how to build freedom. They ask friends who never escaped comfort how to take risk. They ask people afraid of judgment how to become powerful in public. Then they get confused when the advice makes them smaller. But listen carefully. Most people do not give advice to free you. They give advice to keep you understandable. They want your choices to fit inside the emotional order they already know. They want your hunger to become reasonable. They want your ambition to become explainable. They want your risk to become small enough that it does not disturb their excuses. When your ambition becomes too large, it threatens people, not because they hate you, sometimes they love you. But your rise would force them to face something they have been avoiding. If you can build from zero, they must wonder why they never tried. If you can create proof without support, they must question the stories they use to protect themselves. If you become undeniable, their excuses lose some of their power. So they call your vision unrealistic. They tell you to be practical. They tell you not to risk too much. They say, just get a normal job. They say, who do you think you are? But that question is not always curiosity. Sometimes it is a warning. They are asking you to return to the identity they know how to control. This is why the unsupported man must become careful with his words. Do not tell small minds large plans and then bleed energy defending them. Do not bring unfinished power into rooms that are designed to mock what they cannot understand. Do not seek emotional permission from people who would secretly feel more comfortable if you stayed the same. Your silence is not weakness. Your silence is protection. Building in silence does not mean staying invisible forever. It means protecting unfinished power until it is strong enough to be shown. The world respects power before it respects intention, and proof is the first visible form of power. If you are serious about changing, understand this. You are probably consuming a lot. You are watching videos. You are collecting ideas. You are feeling the fire. But if you keep consuming without building, you will become another man addicted to intensity but allergic to execution. Inside Patreon, I go deeper into the unfiltered material that cannot always be placed in public videos, the psychology of power, self-command, discipline, and the hidden mechanics behind becoming undeniable. If you continue only watching and never confronting yourself, nothing moves. If you want the deeper work, join Patreon. The decision is yours. Now we go colder. Law 2. Build one painful solution skill. A broke man does not need 10 interests. He does not need endless learning. He does not need another motivational phase. He needs one skill the market already rewards. Sales, copywriting, video editing, coding, design, paid ads, negotiation, content strategy, artificial intelligence automation, high-ticket service delivery. But do not choose a skill because it sounds impressive. Choose the skill closest to money, urgency, and pain. Money moves toward pain relief. Businesses pay to get more customers. Creators pay to get more attention. Executives pay to save time. Brands pay to increase trust. People pay to become more attractive, more efficient, more respected, more profitable, more secure. So if you have $0, stop asking, what do I love? Ask, what painful problem can I learn to solve? This is where most unsupported men fail. They want wealth, but they do not want the humiliation of being a beginner. They want freedom, but they do not want the boredom of repetition. They want respect, but they hide from the public proof that creates respect. They consume information because learning feels safe. Execution feels exposing. A man can watch business content for 3 years and still have nothing the market can measure. No offer, no portfolio, no sales call, no case study, no public work, no proof. And when there is no proof, there is no leverage. When there is no leverage, there is no power. When there is no power, your ambition stays dependent on someone else's permission. This is why pressure alone is not enough. Pain alone does not make you powerful. Pain can make you bitter. Pain can make you dramatic. Pain can make you jealous of men who are building while you are still explaining. Pressure only becomes valuable when it produces skill. Your pain is not payment. Your pain is raw material. Carol Dweck's work on growth mindset is widely used to explain how people who see ability as developable are more likely to persist through difficulty and improve through effort. But for the unsupported man, the lesson is not soft positivity. The lesson is colder. Your current weakness is not your identity. It is raw material. But raw material does not become wealth by existing. It must be cut, shaped, tested, and forced into value. Mindset alone is not enough. Belief without output becomes fantasy. The only mindset that matters is the one that forces behavior. You do not need to feel confident. You need to create evidence. Pick one skill. Give it 90 days. Study it. Practice it. Build samples. Break down people who are winning. Copy the structure, not the soul. Learn the market. Learn the language of buyers. Learn what pain they pay to remove. Do not ask the world to believe in you before you become useful. Become useful first. Then make your usefulness visible. Because the invisible man does not become powerful by being understood. He becomes powerful by producing results that make misunderstanding irrelevant. That is the first identity shift. You are not a victim of having no support. You are a man being forced to build without illusion. No one is coming to structure your day. No one is coming to protect your attention. No one is coming to stop you from wasting your nights. Good. Then you must become your own authority. You must build a war room out of whatever room you have. A desk, a notebook, a cheap laptop, a phone, a schedule, a skill block, a sales block, a training block, a content block, a money tracking block. This is where wealth begins, not in the bank, in the calendar. But discipline without skill is just suffering with structure, and skill without proof is just potential trapped inside your ego. Law 3. Turn skill into visible proof. This is where the invisible man becomes visible. You can have discipline, you can have hunger, you can have intelligence, you can even have real ability. But if nobody can see what your ability produces, the market will still treat you like a theory. And theories do not get paid. People do not trust potential, they trust evidence. They do not trust your hunger, they trust results. They do not trust your explanation. They trust proof that can survive without you standing there defending it. That is why your next mission is simple. Make your value observable. If you have no network, build proof publicly. If nobody hires you yet, build mock projects. If you have no clients, create breakdowns. If you have no testimonials, create before and after examples. If you have no audience, document your thinking. If you have no reputation, start producing the kind of evidence reputation is built from. A man who wants to become a copywriter can rewrite weak ads and explain why the new version works better. A man who wants to become a video editor can take existing clips, rebuild the pacing, and show the difference. A man who wants to work in paid ads can break down why certain ads sell and why others die. A man who wants to offer artificial intelligence automation can show a simple system that saves time, reduces repetition, or removes operational pain. You are not waiting for permission. You are creating a trail of evidence. This is where the unsupported man has an advantage if he is willing to suffer correctly. He has no audience to impress. He has no reputation to protect. He has no comfortable identity to defend. He can test. He can fail quietly. He can publish. He can improve. He can become dangerous while everyone else is busy trying to look polished. The beginner who accepts humiliation becomes stronger faster than the beginner who protects his image. That is why many men stay poor. Not because they lack intelligence, because they are too proud to be seen trying before they are excellent. They want the reward of mastery without the public evidence of growth. They want respect before they have endured the process that creates respect. But respect does not come first. Proof comes first. Your first proof may be ugly. Good. Ugly proof is still better than invisible potential. Your first public breakdown may get no attention. Good. You are learning how to think in public. Your first offer may be rejected. Good. The market is teaching you where your value is unclear. The weak man interprets rejection as a verdict. The strategic man interprets rejection as data. This is the difference between emotional ambition and operational ambition. Emotional ambition wants to feel chosen. Operational ambition wants feedback. Emotional ambition asks, why do they not believe in me? Operational ambition asks, what proof would make belief unnecessary? And once you understand this, your behavior changes. You stop trying to convince people that you are serious. You become serious. You stop begging people to recognize your potential. You build something measurable. You stop announcing plans to people who cannot help you. You let the evidence speak when it is strong enough. This is the second identity shift. You are not trying to be seen as talented. You are trying to become impossible to ignore. Law 4. Sell first, optimize later. Unsupported men do not have the luxury of endless preparation. Endless preparation is often fear wearing the mask of discipline. You tell yourself you are still learning. You tell yourself you need one more course, one more book, one more perfect brand, one more cleaner website, one more certificate. But beneath all of that, there is often one hidden fear. You do not want the market to judge you. So you hide in preparation because preparation lets you feel productive without being exposed. But the market does not reward hidden preparation. It rewards value delivered under real conditions. Sell first, optimize later. This does not mean be dishonest. It does not mean promise what you cannot deliver. It means stop treating perfection as the entry price. The real entry price is contact with reality. Make a simple offer. Solve a specific problem. Talk to real people. Find out what they want. Find out what they ignore. Find out what they're willing to pay for. Find out where your language is weak. Find out where your skill is not yet strong enough. Find out what part of your service creates value and what part only exists to make you feel impressive. The market is the harshest teacher because it does not care about your self-image. It does not clap because you tried. It does not reward your suffering. It gives you feedback in the cleanest possible form. Yes, no, not now. Too expensive, not clear. I do not trust you. Show me proof. Can you do this faster? Can you solve this specific problem? That feedback is gold if your ego does not poison it. Most men want wealth, but they hate market feedback. They want money from people while resenting the fact that people have standards. They want clients without rejection. They want income without sales. They want leverage without visibility. That is fantasy. If you start with zero, you need market feedback faster than a comfortable man. The comfortable man can waste time. You cannot. The supported man can delay. You cannot. The man with savings, connections, and a soft landing can pretend for longer. You cannot. Your disadvantage becomes your discipline when you stop romanticizing your struggle and start measuring your output. This is why Daymond John's early FUBU story matters. It was not theory. It was not a perfect empire at the beginning. It was product, street demand, direct reaction, adjustment, proof. The market spoke early. That is what you need. Do not build a fantasy business in your head for years. Build contact with buyers. Build contact with objections. Build contact with real demand. The goal is not to feel ready. The goal is to become corrected by reality. If you are serious about becoming more than another man who watches, agrees, and stays the same, then pay attention. You can keep collecting ideas and still remain powerless. You can keep feeling inspired and still have no proof. Inside Patreon, I share deeper, more direct material for men who want the unfiltered work behind discipline, power, identity, and leverage. Not entertainment, not comfort. Work that forces confrontation. If you keep consuming without creating evidence, your future will look exactly like your past with better excuses. Join Patreon if you are ready for the deeper layer. The decision is yours. Law 5. Convert income into leverage. This is where many men betray themselves. The first time money arrives, they do not use it to become free. They use it to buy the respect they never received. Clothes, cars, restaurants, status signals, expensive distractions, temporary applause. They want the world to see them. They want the doubters to regret. They want to finally look like the man they told everyone they would become. But early money is not for applause. Early money is ammunition. It buys tools. It buys time. It buys better skill. It buys distribution. It buys assets. It buys systems. It buys freedom from desperate choices. A man who spends his first money to look powerful remains poor with better decoration. A man who reinvests his first money becomes harder to control. That is the difference between income and wealth. Income feeds you. Wealth frees you. At the beginning, you may have to sell time to survive. That is not shameful. Survival income gives you oxygen. But if you stop there, you remain trapped. The strategic man uses survival income to build leverage. A portfolio is leverage. A case study is leverage. A YouTube channel is leverage. An email list is leverage. A reputation is leverage. A productized service is leverage. A system is leverage. An audience is leverage. A repeatable offer is leverage. Leverage begins when your proof starts working while you are not in the room. This is why visible proof matters so much. If every opportunity requires you to beg, chase, explain, and convince from zero, you are not building power. You are renting attention through effort. But when your proof exists outside of you, it begins to speak before you enter. It filters people. It attracts buyers. It raises your status. It makes your name carry weight. That is when the game changes. The unsupported man must understand this earlier than everyone else. Your goal is not just to make money. Your goal is to build mechanisms that reduce your dependence. Dependence is the hidden poverty. If one client controls you, you are not free. If one job controls you, you are not free. If one platform controls you, you are not free. If one person's approval controls your emotions, you are not free. If your spending forces you to keep obeying people you resent, you are not free. Wealth is not only having more money, wealth is having fewer masters. That is why the first money must be treated with discipline, not fear, not scarcity. Discipline. You do not use early money to perform success. You use it to purchase more freedom. You invest in better tools. You improve the skill. You create content. You build systems. You buy back time. You strengthen your offer. You expand distribution. You protect your attention. Because the goal is not to look rich. The goal is to become difficult to control. This is the final identity shift. You are not poor because you started with zero. You stay poor when you protect the identity of a man waiting to be chosen. Kill that man. Kill the man who says, "I cannot start because no one supports me." Kill the man who says, "I need someone to believe in me first." Kill the man who keeps explaining his ambition to people who never built anything worth studying. That man is not humble. He is dependent. the new identity is colder. I do not need to be believed. I need to become measurable. I do not need support. I need skill. I do not need applause. I need proof. I do not need permission. I need leverage. 1. This is the identity of the unsupported builder. He does not announce every move. He does not beg for understanding. He does not tell small minds large plans and then waste his blood defending them. He works, he tests, he sells, he improves, he documents, he compounds, and slowly the room changes. Not because people became kinder, because his evidence became harder to ignore. The people who dismissed him start watching. The people who doubted him start asking questions. The people who gave safe advice start pretending they always knew he had something in him. Do not be fooled. They are not responding to your soul. They are responding to proof. That is human nature. Power becomes visible and people adjust, so do not hate them for it. Study it. Use it. Understand the game without becoming emotional about the game. Starting with nothing can become your advantage because it removes the illusion of rescue. No safety net, no inheritance, no powerful uncle, no soft landing. Good. Then there is no one to blame, and no one to own your rise. If you build from zero, your discipline is yours, your skill is yours, your proof is yours, your leverage is yours, your freedom is yours. No one gets to claim credit for the man they refuse to support. But there is one final trap. When a man starts building wealth from nothing, his first enemy is poverty. But his second enemy is ego. Poverty makes you hungry. Ego makes you stupid. The moment early money arrives, the unsupported man will be tempted to prove everyone wrong too quickly. He will want to show them. He will want to flex. He will want revenge through appearance. He will want to take reckless risks because slow progress feels like disrespect. This is where many men lose everything. They escape weakness, then get destroyed by impatience. So remember this. The goal is not to look rich. The goal is to become free. The goal is not to make doubters jealous. The goal is to make their opinion irrelevant. The goal is not to chase money like a starving man. The goal is to build leverage like a strategist. If you have $0, start with discipline. Turn discipline into skill. Turn skill into proof. Turn proof into leverage. Turn leverage into money. Turn money into freedom. And turn freedom into a life no one can take from you. No support. No network. No excuses. Build anyway. Subscribe to Depths of Psyche.